shot.
Dandy little shot there, about 4.5 feet right of the flagstick. To 15. And a birdie try for Bobby Collins.
Well, no mistake there, Denny. 3 perfect shots.
Dave Miley, an even par. Getting ready to play the 9th.
Ninth hole, you can see, is only 343 yards, but the fairway is sloped severely to the right. Dave trying to hit a hook into the fairway. To hold it up there. I can't see where that one ended up.
To the 17th tee. Greg Powers coming off a bogey.
A little indecisive about clubs. The wind's picked up just a fraction. It's a half club wind quartering from the player's right.
You could see Greg with that small tee back there, Nelly, in the shade from that tree. Not a lot of grass on that tee, so kind of giving it the 2-club look and backing up a little bit to find a level spot to put the peg in.
Exactly. And sometimes when you're between clubs, you'll use those 2 yards, those 2 club lengths, to get you a little bit closer to a full shot. And Greg may not think that he can get 9-iron there, so he's gone all the way back to make the whole play 139 yards against the wind. Just a little 8-iron here. Yeah, you can see just a soft little swing there, Peter.
And a wonderful golf shot.
Thirds at the 18th just a moment ago. Alan Doyle in premier position trying to make birdie at the par 5.
Slide a little.
Now live to the 18th green, and Dick Mast, after just lashing it through the leaves, with a birdie opportunity.
It was funny as he strolled up onto the green. Dick said to me, that wasn't the 3rd shot I had planned.
You know, Gary, it's interesting. Really, on this hole, the key shot is the 2nd shot.
It really is. Now this for birdie after that brilliant 3rd shot.
Ooh, the ball looked like it broke left.
Sean Murphy at the 15th.
See, almost a Mark Kalkabackia move there, Denny, or he kind of takes it a little outside and leans back, and look at this shot. Got that one pictured out just right. 6-footer, that's
bounce.
Yeah,
huh?
6-footer's a gimme for this guy.
And now Franklin Langham in an effort to save par.
This would be an all-American par here, having hit it in the hazard off the tee. Super 4th shot. Just struggling with the putter today. Just can't get anything to drop, it seems.
Had a lot of good putts, Gary.
He has. It's just one of those days, you know. Everybody has them, and they've come at the wrong time, unfortunately. Now on a cheerier note.
Franklin thus far on the season ranked in the top 10 in 4 different statistical categories. One of them, though, not putting. At the 16th, about a mile between Perry Parker and a 3.
Well, certainly on these greens with as fast as they are, Denny, and as much slope as they have, anytime you're really outside 25 feet, you're playing defense. And this would be nothing but a 2-putt in his mind. hardly even think of making a putt like this.
Somehow that's when you make them.
Funny game. And a nice lag by Perry Parker.
Franklin Langham bogeyed the 18th. But on the other side of the spectrum, this a moment ago, Alan Doyle for a 4 at 18.
Great front side by Alan Doyle. 32.
At the 16th, Matt Peterson pacing and now looking from the other side at a birdie opportunity. Might also point out that Dick Mast penciled in a 5 at the 18th after trouble on his second shot.
Very well done. Matt Peterson moves to 2 under. Seeing just very few birdies on the 16th hole. Real bonus birdie hole. When you stand on the tee, you're not thinking about birdie, Danny.
Back to the 15th, Dave Benson to get to 2 under par.
Boy, quick routine. Couple practice strokes and just gets up there and hits it. Almost no more looks at the hole. Almost made it.
Ahead to 17, and Brad Fable once again in a par 3 has staked it, Peter.
Well, looking to go birdie also. Tricky little putt. It's a double breaker. It starts out moving to his right, and then we'll come back to his left.
Yeah.
Pretty perfect.
Mini streak.
That's right, Brad. Just pick it out of the bottom of the hole, get to -3, and play on. We'll be back after this.
Let me guess. One side of you craves easy chair comfort, while the other side itches for performance, right? Well, meet Buick Regal with its famous 3800 V6 engine and Grand Touring suspension. Add to that an all-new interior with body-sensitive seats. And finally, there's a car for the two of you. Buick Regal.
Golf Channel on-course reporters count up the strokes on the Scorecard Report.
Today at 3:30 p.m. Eastern, only on the Golf Channel.
Gary Rusnak in at 65, and 6 other players in the chase, just 2 shots back. Derek Gilchrist now with his second shot at the tough 16th.
Man, any drive in the fairway here is a heck of a good drive. Having to play it off that slope. It's about 245 yards off the tee. Boy, and another good shot here at 16.
Ahead we go now to the third of Sam Randolph at 18.
Sam is sitting pretty here. 85-yard shot. Just a nice smooth sand wedge for him. If he can hit it smooth, it's a smooth one, but he's lost it a little bit right.
Pretty good though, Mark. About 8-9 feet.
He's got to have it in a good spot there. He's right under the hole, isn't he, Jim?
Yes, it's good shape.
This a moment ago, Sean Murphy to get to -3.
Now watch this stroke. Long and fluid, and nothing but the bottom. Pretty routine for Sean Murphy from that range.
A moment ago from the light rough at 18, the third shot of Buddy Gardner. See some grass flying here.
Had a good angle and hit a pretty good shot there, Denny. 12, 13 feet.
Matt Peterson has now reached the 17th tee. Players have been peppering this flagstick all afternoon long.
I think really the best flag on this hole, Denny, is going to be over there in the back right, where there's a slope to the right that falls way off. Keep these guys from hitting these little 9-iron draws at the flag. And that one's right over it, but 25 feet long, maybe. Just enough breeze to make the players think a little bit about their club selections.
Rex Caldwell next to play in this threesome.
Rex, the old veteran, many years on tour. Won tournaments on the tour. Had a stretch where he finished second in the Bob Hope, second at Tucson, and second at what used to be called the Bing Crosby. In one stretch, it was fabulous golf. Rick's been playing a lot of mini tour events in Texas as of late, and now working himself back, hopefully, for him onto the PGA Tour.
He scared me dead.
And left that one out to the right.
Buddy's got a perfect putt here. If he can just get it to the hole, it's uphill, left to right breaker. Not a whole lot of break. Oh, just teased him. This is a very devilish pin set here. The next two guys, when they putt, they'll be experiencing some difficulty.
We'll stay right here at the 18th. So the work isn't done when you get it on the green, right, Mark?
It sure isn't, and you can just see the wheels turning when the players get up and see where they've left themselves. They're trying at all costs to avoid those 3- and 4-foot par putts. It's kind of scary, really.
Chris Hunsucker now at the 16th from the greenside bunker.
Not a lot of green to work with here, Denny. But boys, played a beautiful shot, landed exactly where he needed to do it. That was classic textbook shot.
Back we go to 18 and a birdie chance.
I'm sure Eddie's not real happy with his shot here because he's got a dreadfully fast little ticklish putt. I was surprised he'd laid up so far close to the green. 65-yard shot was tough to get it close. Whoa. That's what you don't want to do out here, guys. You just, you've got a 10-footer for birdie. Now you've got a 4 or 5-footer for par. Too much of that will make you gray.
To 16 and Bobby Collins for birdie.
Well, Bobby Collins playing some good golf after we saw 3 perfect shots on 15. And 16 has staked it in here right where he was aiming it, I'm sure. And has left himself with an 8-footer that curls a little bit to the right to get to 3 under par. Well, Bobby got it going early in his round. No wasted time, no wasted effort. Another birdie. Get to 3 under for Bobby Collins.
To 17 a moment ago, Harry Parker. That sounded solid.
You're right. Thank you. That's well.
Almost cut some linen on that flag.
And now back to 18.
Very good work for Eddie. He's got to be relieved. I think that putter's working for him.
Of course, Ed making the turn. They'll head now to number 1. Just prior to that, Sam Randolph had sand wedged it right in there pretty tight. Bumped that in for 5. So we know where Sam stands. Let's find out where everybody else is here in the opening round of the Nike Philadelphia Classic. After just striping it at 17, Perry Parker with this left for a 2. That's what will drive you absolutely to distraction. Near perfection, and you end up with a par. Come on back and join us for more of our live first round coverage of the Nike Philadelphia Classic.
The hands of Jack Nicklaus have driven 380-yard greens in playoff pressure. They've buried 40-foot putts to determine the outcome of major tournaments. And they've made golf balls perform in ways others never dreamed possible. Today, they bring you the new progressive-sized Bear Iron. Isn't it time you put your game in Jack's hands?
The battle is on in the German countryside as Europe's best golfers meet in the Volvo Tour's BMW International Open. Choose your tour, the BMW International Open. Round 2 tomorrow at 9 a.m. Eastern on the Golf Channel.
You're watching the Golf Channel.
Out of the log jam at -3, Tom Pernice Jr. Now within 1 shot of Gary Rusnak. And back we go to the 18th. Greg Powers with his 3rd from the left rough. Peter?
He's a little under 100 yards uphill. Wonderful angle. But the ball's sitting down slightly in the rough, and he needs to allow for the release. And he did just that.
Boy, a well-played shot. Greg always been a good wedge player. Covers his wedges quite well. Can hit hands quite a bit ahead of the ball.
After a birdie at 16, Bobby Collins at the par 3 17th.
Oh, another good bounce out of that rough there.
Also a moment ago, Brad Fable at the 18th.
Oh, having to work it around those trees out of the rough. It kind of jumped on him. That'll be a difficult up and down.
Now live to the 18th, Frank Connor doing a bit of pacing. Peter?
Well, Frank's actually got a fairly straightforward chip straight up the hill. Much easier than I've seen him have on the last few holes. Ball's sitting fairly good. Got about 25 feet between him and the hole. Brad's the one with the difficult shot to get very close to the hole. Downhill all the way. He's got to run it halfway down the slope that bisects the center of the screen.
Well, Brad Fable didn't get it up far enough on that hill on his second shot, did he, Peter?
Yeah, it was almost a shank, Jim. He was looking to lay it left center with a mid-iron. Came off the shot. It went dead right on him. He was actually quite fortunate to end up where he did.
Did he drive it in the fairway?
Absolute dead center.
Well, this is a hole you just cannot afford to lose your concentration on. You have to play 3 good shots to this hole, and a lot of times that isn't the case on par 5s. You can get it close to them, and 2, you feel like you have a shot to play with, but this is not one of those par 5s.
Sometimes it's easy, though, Jim, to fall asleep a little bit on a layup shot where there doesn't appear to be any trouble in front of you.
True. See, playing it off that hill in the middle of the green, how much that's breaking. He's left himself probably 6 feet, 7 feet for a par.
Alan Doyle, after promptly making the turn at -3, went to the first hole and birdied it, so he is now tied for second, just 1 shot behind Gary Rusnak. Frank Connor now at 18.
Yeah, this is a shot that Frank's particularly good at. He's got a great soft touch, soft hands, and about as straightforward a little chip as you'd like to have. A little bit uphill, not much break.
Yeah, it jumped a little left on him when it hit. And Frank, at 49 years old, played 16 events, made 9 cuts, had it somewhat in contention at Pensacola, where he finished 10th. He's not done all that great on the money earning scale, though, $12,000. But he's just keeping himself in shape to play on that senior tour.
He's one of only 2 players to play in the U.S. Tennis and the Golf Open, along with Ellsworth Vines. What a great athlete.
Powers for birdie, and it slides by low.
No man's land. And that's what happens when you leave yourself out of position after your approach shot. He's got to pay the price now. I'm sure he'll learn better next time he plays out here, don't you, Jim?
Well, I think so. Definitely a missed club off the 17th tee to hit in that back fringe. That was quite a ways over.
You know, they got to be careful, even though the yardage is 137. It's playing more like about 125.
Bobby Collins next to play now at 17. Got a favorable kick after pulling that 9-iron just a hair left.
Yeah, these are real tough shots, Denny. He's half in, half down, and half up on this shot. He could play a blade out of here, but my guess he'll flop it. He's young. His hands are good.
It's early in the tournament. You know, you're going to try all the good stuff. There's a good look at the lie he has. And that fringe looks like it's definitely going to bother him in his backswing.
Very awkward spot.
Boy, wastes no time when he gets to it. Unfortunately, those run that good 5 or 6 feet by.
To save par at the 18th, Brad Fable.
Well, if he's not kicking himself, he ought to be. But I guess I'll wait till after this putt. He really was in position to set himself up for a birdie putt off the tee.
Well, the 18th claims another victim.
That'll just frost you. 33 on the front, gave one away, or I should say on the back, gave one away at the 18th. And it's a par 70 golf course. You're looking to make 4 on the par 5s, not 6. Chris Hunsucker for par at 17. Make that Derek Gilchrist.
He had to back way, saw some head bobbing over the green. The green sits up a little bit. Behind the green is trouble where you saw him, and there were some fans kind of rustling about back there.
The putt that should break to his right 4 or 5 inches. Just put some speed on it to get it there.
Oh, great touch. Oh, it didn't turn. He was very unlucky there.
Yeah, a lot of balls have turned from down there.
It looks like one of those putts, if you get it anywhere near the right side of the cup, it's going to bend hard. But if you keep it out left, some have stayed left.
First look today at Jerry Foltz, a winner on the Nike Tour earlier this year.
Watch the wire. Watch it.
Always the aggressive play from Mr. Foltz, who has a birdie chance at the 9th. And now a birdie try at 17.
We've seen this putt before, haven't we? He knows what he has to do.
Well, and there's the break that putt before him didn't do, so got fooled by the man in front of him.
Now Bobby Collins in an effort to make 3 here at the 17th.
He thinks he's got it, but he's not sure of the break here, Denny. Should be fairly straight, maybe just a touch right to left. Good work.
Well, he's quick to get that ball out of the cup, isn't he?
He doesn't want to jumping back out on him.
Back to the 17th tee. Mr. Smith is there with Sean Murphy.
Sean, having just made a good par on the last hole, was unlucky. Hung up on the slope off the tee, but made a very good par. Now licking his chops, I would think, at this little par 3. It's this type of hole visually that I think you feel you can hit the ball very close. It's a small green, so anywhere that you are on the green, you're relatively close to the hole. Most of the players hitting 9s and wedges, Jim.
Most of the players, I feel anyways, Gary, when they get a pin like this with a short iron, feel like they're not going to miss the shot left much, and that's why we're seeing so many aggressive shots. Do you feel that way also?
Exactly. You're hitting slightly downhill, and visually it's just a type of shot that I think most players feel confident with. Sean has a little 9-iron. How about that shot?
Beautifully played.
Playing with a lot of confidence. 3 top 5 finishes in his last 3 events. Back with more golf after this. Many Americans may not know that Philadelphia served as our nation's capital from 1790 to 1800. The county courthouse building became home to the U.S. Congress for the decade and was the site of many historic decisions. Among them, the formal addition of the Bill of Rights to the Constitution, the establishment of the Mint and the first Bank of the United States, and the admission of the first new states, Vermont, Kentucky, and Tennessee, to the Union.
Just 20 minutes a day is all it takes for you to create the perfect golf swing. Only the SAM 2000 is designed, engineered, and custom-made to give you the perfect golf swing. The SAM 2000 is the world's best golf trainer. With it, you will lower your scores and cut your handicap in half in just 21 days. The SAM 2000 has been proven to give fast results. Recent studies also show SAM 2000 users adding 40 yards to their tee shots. There are many teaching aids on the market that work on different parts of your swing, the takeaway, the backswing, or the follow-through. But the SAM 2000 does it all. One 18 handicapper decreased his handicap by 9 strokes in just 21 days. So call today. We will customize a model to fit you. SAM 2000 owners are seeing amazing results. Longer and straighter tee shots, lower scores, and reduced handicaps as high as 50%. Call today for your personal model and try it for 30 days. Call 1-800-421-1310. That's 1-800-421-1310.
Was a time when a man named Nicklaus won the U.S. Open in this area. Now his son playing the 16th after a double bogey at 15.
Gary Nicklaus, Bear Cub, trying to make it out here in the Nike Tour. Tough to follow in the best player ever's footsteps. Ah, there's a beautiful shot. So we may get one back after that double on 15. I don't envy him, though. Denny having to live up to Dad's name all the time. Difficult task.
Don't forget, today on the Golf Channel, relive the highlights of the World Match Play Championship featuring Hale Irwin in 1975 and 76. The World Match Play Championship today at 4 p.m. Eastern Time, only on the Golf Channel. Tom Pernice Jr., fresh from a birdie at 12, or make that 13, has now tied Gary Rusnak for the lead. Alan Doyle with an opportunity to get there as well, as he is now on the front side. To the par 3 17th green. Gary Smith is on hand.
It's interesting, having watched several groups come through here, there haven't been that many putts made. I think this green, as we played a few holes last night, isn't quite rolling as well as some of the other greens. That may be due to perhaps a lack of circulation with the air in this by this green. But certainly all these players, having hit very good iron shots in here, have birdie chances. The longest being about 9 feet. Dave Benson, a player we haven't seen very much of in the past. This for birdie.
Boy, that looked good for a long time.
Tough to argue when you hit it exactly where you want with the right speed and it doesn't go in.
And this green isn't rolling as well as some of the others, but superb golf course, and it's still relatively early in the season up in the northeast. This is Vance Veazey for birdie. Powerful player. Hits the ball a long way. This putt, if anything, is about a left edge putt.
Well, he would have gotten a perfect read off Dave Benson's putt right before. And made good use of it. Good birdie, Vance. He thanks Dave as he walks off. For the read.
Moment ago, the second of Billy Downs at the 14th.
Nice shot. Nice shot.
Oh, great shot.
Nice.
423-yard 14th hole.
Well, you're heard him say, go in the hole. That's what Shawn is thinking about here at 17.
He will be kicking himself if he doesn't make this birdie after this brilliant iron shot. This little putt of about 3.5 feet.
Interesting, Gary, that Shawn using the label on the golf ball to line up exactly where he wants to try and stroke this putt.
Yeah, it's a very simple alignment aid, but it makes a huge difference. It would certainly help a lot of the amateurs that are watching at home to do that. It's about a left edge putt if he hits it reasonably firmly. Nicely done.
At -4, looking to perhaps shoot 30 on the backside. And the man who won last week, Carl Zoller, at the 9th tee.
Now here's a good idea of how much slope this fairway does have on it and how fast these fairways are. Got to be very careful where you drive your ball on some of these fairways.
To the 16th, and Gary Nicklaus, after a wonderful iron shot from the right side of the fairway, trying to make 3 and make amends for a double bogey at 15.
Well, a lot of the time the measure of a player is how well they come back after a semi-disaster. He certainly hit 2 wonderful shots to this point. And just didn't give it enough speed.
At 14, one of our co-leaders, Tom Pernice Jr., to try and take sole possession of the lead.
It's fairly quick, going downhill, going to break to his left. Not one he can go at too hard. And maybe a little defensive on that, leaving himself 3.5 feet.
Tom Pernice Jr., a couple under on the backside, 5 under on the day. Back with more of our first round coverage after this.
As sure as the sun will rise across America, the families that travel will have one common need: to be safe. So it's no surprise that America's favorite full-size car has also been honored for safety. That's according to Prevention Magazine, which gave LeSabre the Safe Car Achievement Award in the full-size category. Buick LeSabre, the American family car.
On the next Golf Channel Academy.
I'm Martha Nowsey, LPGA Touring Pro and 1994 Du Maurier Classic Champion. On the Golf Channel Academy, I'm going to show you how to be more flexible and stronger so you can play better golf. What people want to do is they want to go to the driving range and pick up their driver and hit a full swing. It's probably the worst thing you can do.
Tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern.
Tree-lined is the best way perhaps to describe your tee shot at the 18th. Shawn Murphy, 4 under for the last 6 holes.
Beautiful tee shot, and there's really an accurate representation of how much this hole doglegs to the right. Probably a 90-degree dogleg. Oh, maybe 350 yards from the tee or more. Hole's 574 yards. Now Shawn Murphy with his tee shot. You really would like to get this on the left side of the fairway so it makes your second shot a little easier. That's where it looks like Shawn's headed. Just into the rough. You won't be too unhappy with that.
Now Bobby Collins next to play his 3rd at the 18th.
Boy, he does not like the looks of this shot, and neither do I. He's got 185 yards, but playing like 195 to 200, and it looks like there's not much room up here. This course is built, or this hole is built to receive a sand wedge or a pitching wedge, maybe a 9-iron. not a 2 or a 3 iron. So he's got to hit a golf shot here.
Obviously, Markey had to punch out of the trees on his second shot.
Yeah, he sure did. You know, you're going to pay the price one time or another at any time on this hole. And he's paying it right now, believe me.
Yeah, not a shot he wants to lose to the right. Is bunkers and rough to the right of the pin. Oops.
This doesn't look good at all either. Just missed the path. And
oh, caught the path. Oh, and a rock. Back down towards the green.
He's hoping that's in the bunker, and he may get his wish.
And it went back into the bunker, so an adventure here for Bobby Collins.
You know, that second bounce, if he didn't get that second bounce, we might have had to send a search party out after him.
Oh, there it is. We got it on the path. Boy, Markey got a heck of a break hitting that rock.
He sure did.
But he's got a difficult up and down now, that huge bunker to play over.
Now to 17, the tee. Gary Nicklaus.
Yeah, Gary's not short on talent, but pretty hard to match Dad's mind. Liking this one. Oh, boy, just about made it.
Dad would have been proud of that shot. There's a little smile there. All right, I'll forget about the double at 15 if I'll just birdie 17 and 18, get back to even par. Meanwhile, to the player who won 2 weeks ago on Father's Day, Carl Zoller.
Got a low little wedge in there spinning. And very nice right behind the hole.
Jeff Breho now at the 9th. A winner earlier this year on the Nike Tour.
At the Inland Empire Open, a rain-shortened event. Good golf course. Jeff has proved he can play well out here. Shot 12 under for 3 rounds. Well, he did it a lot like that. Jeff Breho moves to 3 under par, only 2 back of the leaders. So some guys creeping up the leaderboard, Denny, playing quite well in this afternoon.
Possibility of a new course record between Sean Murphy, Alan Doyle, Tom Pernice Jr.
There's a depth of talent out here. A lot of people don't know how well these players do play.
Put the finishing touches on 2 very nice shots at the 9th. Carl Zoller, who has found an improved putting touch over the last month. See if he can continue his good play.
Got it outside the hole, and it never did come back.
To the par 3 17th we go. Paul Trittler, after a look from behind the hole, still not ready to pull the trigger here for this deuce and to get to a red number.
Well, the 17th hole, when you step up to it, Denny, you feel like you should make a birdie on it. Of course, you're going to have a perfect lie, and you're going to have a 9-iron in to a pin that looks good, just looks good. So I always get a little disappointed if you don't make your birdie here on this kind of a pin. This is the break you get on this golf course. Oh, and another tease.
Just a little bat at the ball. Should have gone in if I had just played it a hair more towards the center of the hole, but a 3 nonetheless. Gary Rusnak, Tom Pernice Jr. tied for the lead. That's our final golf coverage in terms of live coverage here this afternoon. Don't forget the scorecard report coming your way momentarily, live and direct on the Golf Channel. Interviews, analysis, highlights, and obviously a trip up to the practice tee to find out what the pros are going to work on after their opening round here in the Nike Philadelphia Classic. Wonderful day for golf here in the greater Philadelphia area. Philmont Country Club certainly will provide a marvelous test for all the talents out here on the Nike Tour. Rusnak, Pernice Jr. tied for the lead at 5 under par.
Looks like you're going to need a small bucket.
Maybe next time, I'm gonna need a large bucket.
Coming up on Conversations with Ann Liguori, U.S. Open champions Pete Sampras and Hale Irwin.
I'm coming out of my shoes.
Let the club do the work.
What are you, like, golf instructor?
Oh, nice.
Not bad if you like it perfect.
English to coax it in, but a par at 15 for Quigley as we quickly update you now on the leaderboard. Tom Pernice Jr. in an even par today. Jeff Riho with a 66. They are our tournament leaders midway through the second round of play. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Denny Schreiner along with Jim Nelford. An assault here at Philmont. Are you surprised at a brand new course record?
Well, I am. I thought this golf course was going to play a little tougher for these players, but I think the Philmont members are absolutely in shock and reeling. They've had the best players in the world play here through history, and 65 has withstood the challenges of all of the course records that the guys have tried to go at. Now, 4 guys tied that yesterday, and Tom Pernice shoots 63. Fantastic scoring.
All right. Now, do you anticipate that will continue today? A couple of 66 is already in the clubhouse.
Well, you know, it's perfect weather. You've got an overcast sky, which makes looking at the pins and focusing in on the pins very easy, and that makes hitting shots much easier. No wind again, and these guys are just firing it right at it, and they play away from the pins when they're tough, so they're playing disciplined golf.
Out on the golf course, one of our correspondents, Gary Smith. Gary, are you surprised at all at the aggressive play and the low scores here after the opening round?
I was a little surprised yesterday, Denny. I thought this week, with the fairways being a little smaller, a few more trees out here, and a little longer rough, that the scoring would be higher this week. The courses we've seen earlier in the year were a little more forgiving off the tee, but it just shows how good these players are. They're very, very good. They have the mindset to go out and score low week in, week out.
Gary, you get a chance to walk up and down the practice range, and with your keen eye for the golf swing, what do you see out there on the range?
Well, I think we're now seeing a trend, Jim, where the players all tend to work with their own coaches, but the swings are becoming very simple. A lot of the players use video to help them, and technically they're becoming very solid. You see the driving range is full just about every day after the rounds. Also the practice putting green. These players work very hard on their game and are very motivated to get out onto that PGA Tour.
Speaking of the PGA Tour, working with us, obviously, in this one, are Mark Lai. And Mark, what about your assessment of the low scores here after the opening round?
Well, thank you, Denny. Well, I think I, along with everybody else, underestimated the talent of these young players. You know, early in the week, I had a chance to talk with a lot of them. They honestly felt that even par, 1 under or 2 under, was a great score. After the morning rounds were posted, they found that wasn't going to be good enough. And, you know, as a player, I think when I see that happen, I tend to adjust my thinking and say, hey, I'm going to have to shoot a lot lower than I was planning on, and I think the players in the afternoon adjusted it and kept the pressure on this golf course, and they're doing that again today.
Thank you very much, Mark. History in the making with a brand new course record here at Philmont. Of course, through the years, Philadelphia, storied history in terms of golf, and our Peter Kessler has some thoughts on that.
History of golf in Philadelphia was really put on the map in 1916 when 14-year-old golfing prodigy Bobby Jones played in his first U.S. Amateur at nearby Merion Golf Course, a golf course very similar to the north one here at Philmont Country Club. He lost in the 4th round to the former champion Bob Gardner and used to joke